Hey everybody, this is Herschel Froome from High School Top 100 and number 22 in the national top 25 rankings. I have Gisborne Boys High School. Um, Gisborne Boys High School is like a really um, not like an undercover talented place, because like there's a lot of talent that comes out of there. But I think because of all the it's kind of sort of like Southland Boys, where they're all out on their own and by themselves and far away from everybody, and the long trips out there, especially with the Super 8, and sometimes we're in St. Peter's College and also Sacred Heart, because they have traditionals with them too. You know, traveling out there, it takes a long time, and it's far away from everyone, but you know, you don't really hear a lot about what comes out of that school. All you see is a bunch of talented kids, sort of from the farm, kind of from the bush area, and they just come and just ball out, and then you just see all this talent that's just on the field, and you just wonder where all these kids are from. Billy Presley is probably one of the top 2, 3 hookers in the country. And the hooker position is pretty stacked. And Billy's going to be one of those. And it's going to be hard to see which one misses out. Billy, I think, is right up there with the 1 or 2. Tyrone, Mills, Sealer, Jacob, along with Billy, are all those kind of guys. And so Billy, and that's why, like, I tell people, it's just like, you wait until Napier Boys and Gisborne Boys play, because that is going to be a massive battle between those two guys. And you kind of saw it when Mills and Tyrone went against each other with Kings and Napier Boys when they played here at the St. Paul's Kia 2 camp, is that you saw how good each other was in those big moments where they had to sort of come together. And that's what's going to happen with Billy and Tyrone. And when you're going to see Billy's best games is when he comes up against a hooker who is also at the same caliber as him, and then he has to deal with the same problems that people deal with him every single game that he goes against someone, where he's big, he's fast, he's intelligent, he's strong, he's rugged, you know, he just blows guys out. He's unselfish as well. Like when I watch him play, and even when it comes down to even making tackles, he'll prepare himself to make the tackles and then prepare the next guy after that, you know, telling him, he's just like, I'm going to go in for this one, make sure you back me up, or you got the next day, you know, things like that, like conversations like that he has on the field. Being a good communicator is like that. I like Billy in that way, because he makes sure that everybody else is on the same page and that he's not going at it himself. And he's not one of these like arrogant guys like, oh, just let me do it, I can take care of it. Just like, he's not one of those kind of guys, because he doesn't think like that. He thinks like, we've got to do this as a team, and that's how we're going to win these games, is as a team. He's one of the best players in the country right now, and so he's going to be a guy that's going to be looked at over this year. And then, in all honesty, every scout, agent, selector is going to be pretty much judging him on every single game. And that's every one of these guys that are New Zealand secondary school, you know, caliber players. I mean, Dylan Hall is the same, who's the open side for Gisborne Boys. He's gonna have the same problems too, and the same, he's going to be looked at the same as Billy is. It's like, we're looking at an open side. We obviously know that Josh Souther's going to be one of those kids that's going to be an open side, but we need somebody else like that. Dylan, to me, is the other guy. Dylan Hall to me is the other guy at open side that you want on the field. He's a lot bigger this year. He's actually a young year 13. He's such a solid kid. Looks like he's been working out, really quick around the field. Really safe tackler as well. Takes care of things in stages. He makes a tackle, then he gets to his feet. Really quick decision making in terms of like, do I get over the ball, or is this a waste of time? I'll just set up for the next one. He does stuff like that. And so like, Dylan Hall to me is probably this is like the second best open side in the open side in the country, and then him and Billy are going to be looked at the same thing. Be like, well, these two are going to be prospects. We have to watch them every single game because once we see some faults and flaws and all that kind of stuff, then it's going to go against them. I still think that they're going to end up at the end. They're going to end up at the end of the year being in those selections, whether it's New Zealand secondary schools or Barbarians. They're going to be in that frame. Jordan McFarlane is the other one, who's a prop in his year 12, is the other guy that I really like as well, and what he brings. And he's such a fast guy. Like, he made a break. Like, you ask Kings guys how fast he is when he made his break in that game, and no one could catch him. And he's just so big as well, and he's like real mobile too. They play him at number 8 sometimes. When in rep rugby, he's going to be a prop. So number 8 for a school, prop for his, and then they'll probably work it around like that. But and like before the season started, and I saw him, I think, oh, maybe he'll be Barbarians. I actually looked at him and thought, shoot, maybe he's going to make prop for New Zealand. New Zealand always picks these year 12s, and he's probably one of those guys at year 12 with Tuki and Jordan and Aiden, who I think maybe can crack that New Zealand secondary schools team. And it's just the way that he played is just like, he was just really solid. Quinn Collard at first 5 is going to be a big deal. He's going to be the one that controls everything around the park and controls how the game goes. But at the same time, he still has, other guys like Moses Christie on the team, who's like, Moses is just like, just the way that he moves just effortlessly, he's just so effortlessly moving around the field. And so like, yeah, it's going to be interesting how Gisborne put it all together, how they put it all together, how they travel. Like, because with Gisborne boys, it's always a travel thing because they have to travel the furthest than everybody. So when you have those games where they have to travel down to Palmy, which is a long distance, or New Plymouth and things like that, it's always going to be a long trip. And so like the travel factor always plays in that part with Gisborne boys. Shawnee is the other one that is probably needs to be looked at as well. And so yeah, I'm interested to see how Gisborne turn out and how Gisborne progresses throughout this year and in the Super 8 competition. And to look out for those players as well. Like, look out for Jordan and Dylan and Billy and the way that they track and Quinn as well. And it's going to be a good year for them. And I think hopefully when they put it all together and they've got a system that they're all comfortable with and that they can all play within, that they're going to have a pretty successful year. That's my number 22 ranking for our high school top 200. Hirsch Frill, peace.